So, Fairy Tale 295, we got Super Saiyan Sting. Alright, so this particular chapter, I want to address a couple things. Let's start off with the Lecter flashback. Now, I was very, very glad that it was short, sweet, simple, and to the point. I was dreading a little bit that we would get this long flashback. I was like, oh no, don't tell me this whole chapter is going to be a flashback, because based on the previous chapter, it looked like it was heading towards a flashback of Lecter's past. So, the fact that it was like a page or two long, I was really glad. Short, simple. He was teased for saying that Sting defeated a dragon. Sting is like, okay, I'm going to defeat Salamander, which, you know, even though dragons don't really exist, I'll defeat the next best thing. So, very short and simple. Is it the greatest goal in the world to give somebody that they're going to, for 7 years, be going after? Probably not, but very short, simple, and sweet. So, you know, gave him a goal, pretty simple. And, yeah, definitely glad that it was very short and simple. Now, the fight. It's not over yet, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions and this and that, but I will say this, that I liked that Sting was giving them a beatdown. I was like, oh, holy crap, and he did look like a Super Saiyan. I was like, whoa, you know, he got the hair spiky and the energy around them, and he was beating the tar of them, and I was like, whoa, okay, let's see where this is going. But the fact that they really, like, they were like, oh, yeah, we're hurt, whatever, and they got up, and Natsu was like, oh, I understand your pattern now. Little shaky to wonder how this is going to turn out, because first Sting is like all cocky, telling Rogue, I got this, I'm going to take the both of them on, and he beat the crap out of them. But the fact that I guess it was done in a good way, in the sense that Natsu is not just like, you know, overpowering him immediately. He actually, you know, is studying and getting strategy down and learning his technique. He's like, oh, I know that you twist your leg at around the 11 o'clock type of position. So that aspect was good. But I just hope that, because the next chapter is supposed to be 2 against 1, Natsu at the end of the chapter claims, okay, now I'm going to fight both of you, I'm going to kick your butts, and Gazio gets dragged away on comedic relief. The comedic relief, definitely, it was there. I was just like, you know, it's funny, but at the same time, I want a real good battle. So I was like, iffy with the whole Gazio getting dragged away at the end. But I'm just hoping that the fight at, like, you know, within the next chapter doesn't end up with Natsu just completely dominating Sting and Rogue. I mean, because they are in Dragon Force, so if Natsu's going to go up against both of them, if he defeats one of them and then loses, I'll be like, alright, you know, he tried hard, and at least he defeated one and didn't defeat both. But definitely, if he defeats two, I'm going to be a little disappointed. Like, oh, you know, he just gets up and is back to, like, destroying everything. Because they are in Dragon Force, and, you know, they could do it by will. And Natsu, I believe he'd have to eat some lacrima or something in order to get that. So I'm going to say that this is what I'm hoping for the conclusion of the fight in 276, is that Natsu is going to possibly defeat Rogue, and then at the end, Sting is going to be able to defeat Natsu. But I could also see it going another way, and it being cliche, like Natsu is going to defeat both of them, or, you know, the fight is going to end with Natsu and Gazio winning, and Natsu is probably going to give some speech to Sting and Lecter, like, it doesn't matter what people say about you, you know, at the end of the day, it is what you believe. So I could see it going either way. Either it'll be awesome for Sting to win, because at the same time, be like, whoa, the protagonist didn't win, you know, and I like stuff like that. Like, you know, other series have done that in the past, and I enjoy when they throw you a little curveball, like, whoa, our heroes didn't win. At the same time, I am rooting for Fairy Tail, but I think it would be more interesting if they didn't win. But I could also see it going the cliche way with, you know, a speech at the end. So it's give or take with that, depending on how they're going to do it. But definitely this chapter, mostly brawling, and I really like that. I love a good brawl chapter as much as the next man, so it was done very well as far as the brawl. I'm just hoping that the conclusion in the next chapter doesn't take away from this pretty awesome brawl that we got this chapter. So yeah, flashback with Lecter, short, sweet, simple, very good. The motivation for Sting wasn't probably the best thing in the world, just that some cat said, you know, his very best friend cat said, oh, they were teasing me, so a give and take. And I still really want to learn as well about, because it looks like at that particular point, Sting had already defeated his dragon. He was like a little kid, so maybe Sting really did lie, and maybe he's going to confess to Lecter, I did lie, I never killed him, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe Sting is a big liar, and he never defeated his dragon. It's just when the dragon disappeared, he said, I killed him. And maybe that's what's going to be the outcome as well. That's a third possibility I'm saying. Maybe Sting and Rogue are liars. So who knows? Definitely, again, pretty awesome chapter. I thought the battle was well put together, and the flashback was short and sweet. Again, next chapter could definitely take away from this one, so who really knows? But let me know what you thought of it. Did you enjoy the brawl? Did you think that the Lecter flashback was decent pacing, just a couple pages, nothing too much, nothing too spectacular or anything like that. And yeah, overall thoughts of the chapter. Do you think that this Natsu and Gajeel versus Sting and Rogue, or well, this particular chapter was just Sting versus Natsu and Gajeel fight is going good so far? Because in my opinion, it's pretty awesome brawl, just something very simple, nothing too extravagant or anything, but we'll see how it goes in next chapter. That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for this fight because it's pretty old-fashioned, nice battle. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.